Good morning and welcome to the devotions for Friday the 16th of October. Age. It's just a number, isn't it? My mother-in-law was 80 this week, and sadly, because of the restrictions that are in place, we couldn't celebrate in the way we might have wanted to. The family lunch was cancelled. Going around to watch her blow the candles out on the cake was cancelled. Although we did go and drop the presents off and have a chat on the doorstep. But it made me think, I've known my mother-in-law since she was 43, not quite 44. In fact, Graham's mum and dad and their respective spouses were all in their 40s when I met them. Did I think they were old? No, because my mum and dad were actually older than they were. So I'd grown up with older parents. It hadn't bothered me. But normally when we're young, anybody over the age of 25 is pretty ancient. In fact, I was talking to a friend from Lanchester a few months ago, and she told me that her cousin had died. And when it all came out, it turns out her cousin was my music teacher when I was at secondary school. And it turns out that when I worked it out, he was only in his early 30s when he taught me, and I thought he was old. The thing is, though, when we're young, we always want to look older. Maybe by the way we dress or makeup, if we're girls in particular. In fact, I've got a photograph of my dad when he was 18, and he's dressed like an old man. He's got a shirt and a sports jacket on and smart trousers. Not the normal attire of an 18-year-old these days. Or when we're older, we want to look younger. And all the potions and lotions that are out there to help us hide those wrinkles. We may even be brave enough to go under the knife, with varying degrees of success if we look at some of the famous people who've been brave. But when we look at the Bible, age is very different. Take Abraham and Sarah, for example, told that they were going to expect a baby when they were in their 90s. Makes me wonder if Sarah's laughter was nervous or hysterical. We've got Noah building the ark when he was 100. Very physical work. And when we think of somebody of 100 years old, we normally imagine a small, frail, elderly person. Then there's the other end of the age spectrum. Joseph, sold to be a slave in Egypt when he was 17 or 18. We've got David, the young shepherd boy, who defeated Goliath. They both went on to great things, Joseph and David. We've got Mary, as a teenager, chosen to be the mother of Jesus. All young people who their society probably would have brushed aside, but God chose them. And when Paul was writing to Timothy, he actually makes a point about this man's age. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity. It doesn't matter how young or old we are, God has something for us to do. Doesn't matter whether we're at school, at work, retired. We always have something we can do. As we get older, or ill health might get to us, we can't always do the physical stuff, the practical stuff. But as one lady in my church, when she was elderly, used to say, I can't do an awful lot, but I can pray. And believe me, this lady did pray. She prayed for everybody. We might not feel we're doing an awful lot for God, but He can see what we can do. As I said, the world would probably have brushed aside David and Mary and Joseph, The world would probably have brushed aside Abraham and Sarah and Noah for their ages. But God doesn't see the number on the page. God sees inside to what we are capable of. And He won't let us down while we're doing it. I'm sure there were many times when Noah was building that ark, he probably wanted to give up, but he knew he was doing God's work. There was probably many times Timothy wanted to give up too, because people saw just a young, silly man. No matter what our age, we can work for God in some way. So today, just think about what you are doing for God right now. I know it's difficult under the restrictions, we can't meet up, but maybe you're the one who's on the other end of the phone. Maybe you were the one who's sorting out the Zoom services. Maybe you are the one who's sorting out the shoeboxes. Doesn't matter how old or how young we are. We all have a job to do for God. So God bless. Take care if you're out and about, and I'll see you again soon.